All right, let's get started. Thank you so much for all of you who have taken the time today to join us with our 13th annual Governor's Declaration for Idle-Free Month, which is September, and Idle-Free Season, which ends in March after the winter time inversion. So we're so happy that you are here with us today. Thank you for joining us. Part of this is done virtually. All of us have provided a video, and we have Scott Baird from the Department of Environmental Quality, who will be reading the Governor's Declaration on behalf of the Governor today. So without further ado, let's get started. Next slide, please. This is our agenda for today, and I'm so delighted to have a lineup of really incredible speakers and perspective on Idle Free. So again, welcome. Our first speaker will be Dr. David Christensen, who is the board president of Utah Clean Cities, and he's also the director of the SPIRE, which is Utah State's new National Science Foundation project, and David will talk a little bit more about that. And then I'll speak a little bit about our mayoral campaign that is really the foundational piece of our declaration. This year is exciting to see how many mayors have joined the governor with supporting this declaration. And then again, we have Scott Baird, who will be reading the declaration for us. Thank you, Scott. And then we have Utah Clean Air Partnership, UCAIR, Thom Carter, who will be speaking about their participation with Idle Free and how they support clean air partnerships in Utah. And then we're really delighted to have Jack Hedge, who's the executive director of the Utah Inland Port Authority. And then finally, we will have Dr. Kerry Kelly, who's a professor at the University of Utah. Kerry has done a lot of really great projects, and she has a new National Foundation Science Foundation grant coming up this year, and she'll talk a little bit about that. So let's get going. Thank you. Have Dr. Christensen first.
Hi, I'm David Christensen, and I'm the board chair for Utah Clean Cities and an involved community partner. I also work at Utah State University as the innovation director for the National Science Foundation funded Aspire Engineering Research Center for Electric Transportation. The Aspire Center has found positive partnerships across Clean Cities stakeholders as we share efforts to create a future for clean air. It's our mission here at the center to develop electrified zero-emission technologies. One of my favorite technologies we're working on will deliver energy to electric vehicles at their point of use, even in motion, rather than filling up and taking stored energy on board. Now that's a game changer. What's more, I'm particularly excited that this is happening in Utah. Utahns are known for problem solving. I know because I grew up here. I've raised my children here, and I intend to enjoy these beautiful mountains and valleys with my grandchildren. Emission-free transportation technologies deployed here in Utah and across the nation will help solve our emission problems and overdependence on fossil fuels. But even much more simple approaches can have a tremendous impact. It's my great pleasure to speak about Idle Free Awareness Month and Utah Clean Cities and the work they are doing to improve Utah. Idle Free Awareness has been a continual campaign since 2006. So being idle free means reduction in air pollutants, and that's a benefit to our health. This mindset can save you money, and it can make your skies more blue, but critically, the health of our children depends on all of us being idle free. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Christensen, for your inspiring message and all the great work that you're doing there at Utah State. We're so grateful to have you, and we're so grateful to have all of you here today. Hello from my cabin here in White Rocks, Utah. I'm Tammie Bostick, and I'm the director of Utah Clean Cities. I'm excited to welcome you to the 13th annual Idle Free Awareness Month and Season 2021. Over the past 13 years, we've increased our mayor count on this declaration, these mayors who sign with the governor, to 76 mayors in Utah, which accounts for over 70% of Utah's population. By adding more mayors each year, we are encompassing more and more of the state, and at some point we believe that every mayor in Utah will want to be on this declaration and supporting this great movement. We're incredibly proud of our communities, and even through these uncertain times, Be Idle Free is still a priority. The excitement around this event this year was incredible. Utah has idle reduction requirements, and it is against the law in Utah to leave an unattended vehicle idling. with multiple cities topping out at 10 this year that are idle-free, and 2 other Salt Lake County cities pushing to make it an ordinance. It's exciting. And from the little rural towns like Moab and Kanab to larger cities such as Salt Lake City and Provo, these cities and these leaders care about non-essential idling and the impact it makes on air quality. My very favorite part of Idle Free has been working with the children, and our greatest accomplishments have been with fleets who have literally come to us caring and concerned about what's happening in their communities, what's happening to children, what's happening to families, what's happening at schools, and they care about the quality of life in Utah. So thank you to the Utah fleets who have done so much work around Idle Free. You know you're reaching a tipping point when nearly every school child in Utah is passionate about Idle Free, and these young stewards have taken the original message and taken it to the curb. They've taken these campaigns through the great heights of song, art, poetry, personal narrative, and even lifelong commitment to clean air when they go to college. So exciting to see. And to further our coalition's commitment to Idle Free, Utah Clean Cities is launching an innovative fleet program, Beyond Zero Green Fleets. This program can literally take the pollution solution beyond zero emissions with a carbon benefiting model. And with that, I'm very excited today to turn the time over to Scott Baird, who's the Director of the Department of Environmental Quality. He's going to read the Governor's Declaration and highlight the fact that we have 76 mayors signing on with the Governor, and this is our 13th annual Idle Free event. Thank you, Scott Baird, for being with us today, and take it away.
Excellent, thank you. And just a few words quickly at first. Again, I'm Scott Baird, Executive Director of Utah's Department of Environmental Quality. And I'm thrilled to be participating in this event today on behalf of our great Governor, Gary Herbert. Many of you know at the Department of Environmental Quality, our mission is to safeguard and improve our air, land, and water through balanced regulation. Now, as the environmental regulatory agency in the state, many often see our rules and regulations as a primary tool to improve our air quality, and in some instances encourage us to be even more aggressive with our rules. However, we have learned that while broad statewide regulations are sometimes necessary, local and individual efforts are often the most effective. As seen by the great participation today, we have some incredible partners working towards cleaning our air, and we are so grateful for all of your efforts. Many of you know our tailpipe emissions are currently one of the main contributors to emissions along the Wasatch Front. And the Be Idle Free campaign is a perfect example of how local communities and individuals can all get involved in doing our part to clean the air. Just yesterday, I was out cleaning up our yard from the windstorm and using a tractor to move some of the downed branches, and had stopped the tractor and jumped off, and my daughter came over and turned off the key and said, "Dad, be idle free." I thought, holy smokes, this campaign is working. It's being effective. It's getting to the minds and hearts of everybody. Our balance here in Utah with statewide regulations, local ordinances, and individual effort is truly working. The data shows that our air is cleaner than it has been in decades, and we are making great strides in meeting our federal standards. But more importantly, in improving the air for ourselves and our families and those that we know and love. I'm confident that with the great partners that we have working together, we can accomplish our vision that we have here at DEQ of clean air, land, and water for a healthy and prosperous Utah. So without further delay, whereas Utah had the first Idle Free campaign in the nation, and 2020 marks the 13th year of the Idle Free Month and Idle Free Season Utah Governor's Declaration. Whereas idling vehicles emit particulate matter and other pollutants that, when inhaled, are known to cause serious health problems, especially for children and sensitive populations. Whereas we seek to educate and promote workplace electric vehicle charging, and Idle Free is key goals of Utah's Energy Action Plan. Whereas Utah Clean Cities seeks to educate and promote zero emission strategies through innovative and educational strategies, such as the nationally recognized Turn Your Key Be Idle Free program, which in 2019 helped create a reduction of 2,134.5 tons of greenhouse gas emissions. Whereas Utah public and private fleets have supported the efforts of Turn Your Key Be Idle Free to the benefit of our communities by encouraging driver training and idle-free fleet operation by using clean, advanced fuels and zero-emission technologies. Whereas Utah Clean Cities, the Utah State Board of Education, and all Utah school districts have collaborated on an idle-free bus program that trains more than 3,000 bus drivers annually on idle-free vehicle operations. Whereas Utah Clean Cities continues to support and develop innovative idle reduction programs, such as student-led idle-free education campaigns with the support of parents, teachers, and school leadership to further inform community members about the benefits of reduced idling, with a focus on student drop-off and pickup zones where children are most vulnerable. Whereas Utah Clean Cities recognizes the impact of idle-free education programs by reaching more than 15,000 students in over 450 Utah schools, which has resulted in the commitment of 4 school districts, Canyons, Park City, Granite, and Salt Lake City, to be idle-free campuses. Whereas the Turn Your Key, Be Idle-Free education program continues to develop innovative vehicle idle reduction strategies and gain statewide engagement and support from Utah leaders and the Utah Clean Air Partnership. Whereas 12 Utah cities, 1 county, and 1 national park have declared idle-free resolutions or ordinances, including Alta, Cottonwood Heights, Draper City, Holiday, Lehigh, Logan, Murray, Park City, Salt Lake County, Sandy, South Jordan, Springdale, and Zion National Park. And whereas over 76 Utah mayors are applauded for their support of this important endeavor. Now, therefore, I, Scott Baird, on behalf of Gary R. Herbert, Governor of the great state of Utah, hereby declare the month of September 2020 and the 2020 to 2021 winter season idle-free in Utah. Thank you.
Thank you, Scott. That was wonderful. We so appreciate you reading the declaration for us. What a great opportunity for us to hear it from you, and to also hear your story about your daughter turning off your tractor. That's it. I mean, the kids, they're so impassioned by this program that those are the stories we hear all the time. So thank you for sharing that. Wonderful. So next we have Thom Carter with UCAIR.
Hello, I'm Thom Carter, the Executive Director of the Utah Clean Air Partnership, commonly known as UCAIR. As we know, close to 50% of our wintertime air quality problem comes from mobile sources, vehicles. In our efforts to clear the air, there are no perfect answers, but there are practical solutions. And being idle-free is something we can all do, a practical solution. I get asked all the time if being idle-free really can have an impact on our air quality, if something so simple, so small, can be part of the change we need. Well, according to the EPA, idling for 2 minutes burns as much gasoline as driving for a mile. 5 minutes, you will see 4 times more VOCs, 3 times more NOx, 10 times more CO2 than if you turn off and restart your already warm car. Think about that. If we all became idle-free champions, if we aggregate this savings together, we would be driving down our emissions. It takes the community, the special sauce that makes Utah the best place to live, work, and play. We are grateful for the leadership of Governor Herbert and Lieutenant Governor Cox in declaring September Idle-Free Month to bring awareness to this solution. We applaud the more than 70 cities and towns and all the school districts that have adopted idle-free ordinances. Much of this can be credited to the hard work of the Utah Clean Cities Coalition, the 2020 UCAIR Community Partner of the Year, led by Tammie Bostick. Now, we call other cities, towns, and school districts to join the Turn Your Key, Be Idle-Free movement. We challenge organizations, businesses, and families to identify their own clean air practical solutions, including using travel-wise strategies like walking, biking, carpooling, taking transit, trip chaining, and of course, being idle-free. Come up with something today that you can do, and together we can make a big difference. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Thom. And our next speaker is Jack Hedge. And I just wanted to kind of preface this because I think this is a fantastic piece that many people aren't aware of. And part of it is that our original idle-free program started with a large and visible program to reduce emissions. Oh my gosh, I have a chainsaw right by my window, so I'm gonna maybe skip this and see if I can't follow up with this after Jack's video. So let's let Jack go, and then I'll go back to what I was going to say to kind of speak of it afterwards, because again, it's too loud right here. So thank you.
Good morning. I'm Jack Hedge. I'm the Executive Director of the Utah Inland Port Authority, and I'm out here in the port this morning with some trucks behind me. These trucks have been parked here all night, many of them having to idle to try to stay warm. It's not the truckers' fault. It's because there's not enough parking for them, places for them to be safe and secure overnight. But we're doing something about that. The Utah Inland Port Authority is working with our landowners and our developers to develop more parking, build more parking for these truckers to have a place to go and park, to plug in their auxiliary units so they can stay safe and warm overnight and get out of our neighborhoods. It disproportionately affects our neighbors on the west side, in West Salt Lake, in Rose Park, in West Valley City, in Magna, and we're going to do something about it. But you can do something about it too. Don't idle. When you're sitting parked, if you can, turn your car off. Don't idle. Help us all out. Be idle-free, Utah.
Thank you so much, Jack. I think I want to just emphasize that 50% of the idling that happens in the United States is from heavy-duty trucking, such as what Jack is talking about and what's behind him. And the other 50% is by passenger vehicles. And just to keep it quick, because I know that it's so loud with the chainsaws out cutting down branches, if each year in the United States, if each car in the United States idles for just 6 minutes per day, about 3 billion gallons of fuel are wasted annually, and costing the drivers $10 billion. And they're gone, and they haven't gone anywhere, and what they've left behind is particulate matter and other potent greenhouse gases such as NOx in our communities and cities. So what's so exciting about what Jack is proposing and is going to happen with the inland port is that we will have additional parking with auxiliary power to those trucks so they can plug in with clean electricity and not idle their heavy duty vehicles. Again, that's cutting 50% of the idling in our Wasatch Front, along our Wasatch Front, by allowing these trucks to have, again, a safe and secure place to park and to plug in to clean electricity and not idle their vehicles. So really thank you, Jack, for bringing that point up. And then next, we're going to hear from Dr. Kerry Kelly. She is a professor at the University of Utah, and again, she has a National Science Foundation grant this year, which is so exciting, and she'll tell you a little bit about that. We really appreciate Dr. Kelly's work in our community. She's worked a lot with schools, with air monitoring, and a lot of other exciting projects, and her passion and her dedication to our community is excellent. So we sure appreciate her joining us today. Thank you, Dr. Kelly, and take it away.
I teach chemical engineering here at the University of Utah, and I've been working on air quality in our region for the last 15 years. So to me, idle-free is really important both as a citizen and as a scientist for 3 reasons. It's important for our health and the health of our families. As we drop off children at school, relatives at the airport, or as we wait in lines in a drive-through, we can pass through elevated levels of pollution, and reducing this improves our health and the health of our families. It is a choice that we can make that is going to have an immediate and direct impact. It also saves money and fuel, so why not? A little bit more about why idling and air quality is important. I don't know if you know this, but you experience the majority of your pollution exposure as you commute to work or school every day. And because children and individuals in wheelchairs breathe at a lower elevation, they are more susceptible to all the emissions from our tailpipe. So again, for the health of us and for our community, it is important to choose to be idle-free. And I'm also really pleased to introduce a project that we just learned we were going to be awarded. It's sponsored by the National Science Foundation. It's going to be in partnership with Utah State University, with Intermountain Healthcare, and with Utah Clean Cities. And we're going to help hopefully help people make good choices about idling. So we are going to be taking measurements and providing real-time feedback to people about air quality and their choices. And we'll do this with a dynamic display very similar to how those speed limit signs work on the roadways. And it turns out those signs are actually quite effective. They're effective not only in reducing speeding, but also reducing accidents. We're also coupled with this, we will, these signs will also be displaying community crafted messages, and you'll be hearing more about the projects, and you might even be asked to participate in groups to help us craft messaging. So be on the lookout for that. So making changes like choosing to be idle-free takes leadership. It takes personal leadership, it takes community leadership, and it takes business leadership. And I'm excited to be part of this effort to reduce idling. And I'm also excited about our new project, the new partnerships, and enthusiastic about how the University of Utah, together with its partners, can help develop new tools to help everyone make good choices, in particular to be idle-free. So thanks very much for listening to me today, and be safe and be well. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kelly. We are excited to participate with you as always, and your leadership and enthusiasm around this project and idle-free Utah is just inspiring. Again, so noisy outside my window. I should have stayed at my cabin, but here I am in the city and happily enjoying the sound of chainsaws. So it's an exciting piece. But thank you for joining us today. You may find more information about idle-free materials. You may also download the Governor's Declaration for your review, and you may want to hang it in your office if you're a mayor. We are so excited to have 76 mayors this year sign along with the governor on this declaration. Again, all of our cities that have idle-free ordinances, and our school districts, we have 5 of our school districts that have enforced idle-free campuses for all vehicles, not just buses. So we appreciate their leadership as well. And again, this is a homegrown idle-free program that belongs to Utah. Utah owns it. They love it. We are the stewards of it. It is our own idle-free program, and it certainly has shown how much Utah cares about clean air. So again, thank you for joining us today. Please jump on our website at utahcleancities.org and look for other idle-free materials for your work, for your school, and don't hesitate to reach out to us. We're always here to help. Thank you and have a great day.